Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with actor Michael Jai White. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In national news, U.S. hits encouraging milestones on virus deaths and shots. COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. have dipped below 300 a day for the first time since the early days of the disaster in March 2020, while the drive to put shots in arms hit another encouraging milestone Monday, 150 million Americans fully vaccinated. The coronavirus was the third leading cause of death in the U.S. in 2020, behind heart disease and cancer, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But now, as the outbreak loosens its grip, it has fallen down the list of the biggest killers. CDC data suggests that more Americans are dying every day from accidents, chronic lower respiratory diseases, strokes, or Alzheimer's disease than from COVID-19. The U.S. death toll stands at more than 600,000, while the worldwide count is close to 3.9 million, though the real figures in both cases are believed to be markedly higher, says the Associated Press. About 45% of the U.S. population has been fully vaccinated, according to the CDC. Over 53% of Americans have received at least one dose of the vaccine, but U.S. demand for shots has slumped to the disappointment of public health experts. New cases are running at about 11,000 a day on average, down from over 250,000 per day in early January. In New York, which suffered mightily in the spring of 2020, Governor Andrew Cuomo tweeted on Monday that the state had 10 new deaths. At the height of the outbreak in the state, nearly 800 people a day were dying from the coronavirus. The fall will bring new waves of infection, but they will be less severe and concentrated more in places with low vaccination rates, said a professor at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. In more national news, High Court win for college athletes in compensation case. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously on Monday the NCAA can't limit education-related benefits like computers and paid internships that colleges can offer their sports stars, a victory for athletes that could help open the door to further easing in the decades-old fight over paying student athletes. Schools recruiting top athletes can now offer tens of thousands of dollars in benefits that also include study abroad programs and graduate scholarships. However, the case doesn't decide whether students can simply be paid salaries for the benefits their efforts bring, measured in tens of millions of dollars for many universities. The High Court said that the NCAA limits on the education-related benefits that colleges can offer athletes who play Division I basketball and football violate antitrust laws. In more national news, paid in full, Biden and GOP struggle over infrastructure costs. Congressional negotiators and the White House appear open to striking a roughly $1 trillion deal on infrastructure, but they are struggling with the hard part, how to pay for it. As President Joe Biden jumps back into the talks this week, the question of where the money will come from looms large, and time is running short to solve it. Biden wants to increase taxes for corporations and those households making more than $400,000 a year. Republicans have ruled that out, putting forward alternatives that Democrats find unacceptable. Both sides have said the infrastructure spending should be paid for and not added to the national debt. It's a long-standing challenge, says the Associated Press, with no easy solution, one that puts the bipartisan agreement around infrastructure in tension with the nettlesome realities of governing. It's a problem that has thwarted previous attempts at an infrastructure bill, including during the Trump administration, and their ability to solve it now is likely to determine whether a bipartisan accord is possible. In entertainment news, NASCAR co-owner Pitbull mixing racing with upcoming tour. The man known as Mr. Worldwide is ready to get back to his main business, even as he spends more and more time with his latest investment in NASCAR. Pitbull's new tour, titled I Don't Know About You But I Feel Good, starts July 25th as the Grammy-winning rapper moves from the racetrack back to the stage. He said he knows everyone wants to dance, escape, and enjoy the world again. And finally, in business news, Wall Street snaps back following worst week since February. Stocks rebounded on Wall Street Monday, clawing back most of their sharp loss from last week as the initial jolt passes from the Fed Reserve's reminder that it will eventually offer less help for markets. The S&P 500 snapped 58 points higher, or 1.4%, and recovered nearly three-quarters of its worst weekly loss since February. Oil producers, banks, and other companies that were hit particularly hard last week led the way. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's our time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Give yourself positive reinforcement. When you experience feelings of discouragement and frustration, be gentle with yourself as you become inspired to continue to pursue your goals. Unexpected obstacles might challenge your determination to succeed. Do not judge yourself. Be critical of yourself or demand perfection. You may want to repeat loving affirmations that will encourage you to go further. The more you affirm your willingness to be patient, flexible, loving, and strong, the more strength you will have to overcome obstacles. Your frustration, depression, and discouragement will lift as you treat yourself with kindness. Today, choose to go easy on yourself as you create a positive state of mind and enjoy the day.
Michael Jai White is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actor Michael Jai White joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his extraordinary career and what it's been like for him to do work that he loves. Here's a bit of our conversation.
But you've been in this unique position, Michael, of being able to do what you love, not only in front of the camera, but also in martial arts. What has that been like for you, Michael, to take your passions and to be able to share them with all of us?
Well, I mean, I'm blessed behind it because, I get a chance to do what's in my heart. And so, but I felt blessed early on because there was a time where I learned that I was following my dream. And once I learned that piece of information, I felt like, okay, I've already won. Everything else to me is just, it's gravy, So that's my attitude going forward. And no matter what, I'm going to continue to try to just do my best.
You've been able to reach people who enjoy, the dramas, enjoy the comedies, enjoy the action. How does that feel to have this cross-section of support from so many different arenas you've been a part of?
It feels great. I guess I keep moving forward, and I don't really reflect too much on it. I know it's a good thing.
Gotcha.
But I so much that I want to accomplish that I'm not very reflective a lot of the time.
Talk to us about that project and what it's been like for you to see the way that, especially during the pandemic, people have been responding to it.
Well, I'm finally getting the chance to play characters that are closer to myself. I understand you have to pay the dues and, play characters that sometimes, paint you a certain way. There were people that used to be just frightened of me because I played a lot of these rough characters, and friends of friends would say, "Oh, I saw Mike, but I didn't want to go up to him because, I'm kind of scared." I'm like, no. My friends are like, no, he's a nice guy.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. But we'll have you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course, the Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.